All right, hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. It is the end of 2025. Christmas just happened, so I'm wearing my Christmas, super zoomed in, whatever. We are going to be ranking almost all of the trails that I rode in 2025. Normally at the end of the year, I'll do like a top 10 list, but this year I wanted to mix things up, and so we're going to be ranking almost all of them. This is like 50 something trails. It does not include anything unsanctioned. I'm not going to list those because we all know how YouTube feels about posting unsanctioned content. But unsanctioned trails rip. They are super fun. So I'm not posting any of those. And then I'm also not ranking anything that I did not put on YouTube. So all of these trails, you'll be able to find videos of them or I rode them. Yeah, this isn't like pre-recorded, obviously. Definitely trying like a different setup. So I might stumble a little bit, but the other thing to note is everything down here, trail-wise, that's in purple is from Oregon, and then anything in blue is from Washington. I'm also going to rank them by trail systems. So there's going to be like a little whatever tags, chapters, so you can see just going through like in trail system to try and add some order to this chaos. So anyway, Blackrock Mountain Bike Alliance in Oregon. We're going to start with Sector Nar. Sector Nar was really fun. This is a track that I rode with my buddies. It also has a really nice road gap on it, and I missed that road gap last year, hit it this year. That was sick. That was super fun. It's flowy. It's got jumps. Yeah, it's really fun. The other trail I rode at Blackrock was Bonsai. Bonsai downhill. I'm gonna put in kind of fun. Sorry, I'm gonna put it in not bothered if I don't ride in 2026. It was kind of fun though because I followed my wife down it, and it's always fun to ride bikes with my wife. But if I'm gonna make the trip down to Blackrock, um, I don't even know if am going to make a trip down to Blackrock in 2026. Probably will because they have a really cool shuttle event. But Bonsai Downhill, if I end up not making that trip, I'm not going to be super sad about riding it in 2026. So cool. That's Blackrock. That's everything I kind of rode and posted at there. Now we're going to move on to Tillamook State Forest, also in Oregon. So we have Fear and Loaming. Fear and Loaming is hard for me to rate because it's so long. Like I am gonna put it in top tier. The first like two or three sections are super sick. Going from like the almost very top, basically until you start climbing, this trail rips. It's just top tier. It's so fun. It's techy. It's got flow. It's got a couple, pretty gnarlier moves. It's got the acid drop, acid gap. I don't know. One of the biggest gaps that I've hit. Um, it's super fun. It's like everything I have in it. And then you get to the middle part where you have to climb, and that's not fun. And then after the climb is a descent that's
Whoa,
much more focused on
that's
like pretty
sick.
technical jumps that I've just like I don't ride it enough to know those. It just scares me a bit. So, all right, moving on. Backcountry. Backcountry is uh Backcountry is also top tier. I think it's right behind Fear and Loaming. Backcountry, similar style. Like it's flowy, it's got technical moves, it's got pretty massive gaps, some jumps, optional lines. It's got everything I love in a trail. The only reason I'm probably not ranking it as pinnacle is because the climb out after backcountry, it's not super enjoyable, and to me, that's like part of what makes a trail is like accessibility to it. So, all right, then we got Ravens Ridge. This was my first downhill race that I did. I'm gonna put it above Sikternar and really fun. The downhill race itself was super fun. The trail is rad. Like the trail is just really fun to ride. There is a spot that feels kind of dead in the middle of it that you have to pedal a lot, and in the race that kind of kicked my butt. But for the most part, Ravens Ridge was really fun. I lapped it like 3 times, and that was super sick. So those are all the trails to Tillamook State Forest, and now we're going to move on to Rocky Point. So Rocky Point's cool because this is maybe one of the places I rode the most, but I didn't post a lot out here. This was kind of where I just wanted to go and ride my bike with my friends or solo and not really worry about filming a whole lot. The trail I did ride quite a bit and filmed a lot was Roller Coaster. Roller Coaster is definitely above Sector Nar. in the really fun category, and I think it's right behind Raven's Ridge, mainly because I was being an idiot and I crashed on like the main hard feature. It was like dumping rain, super wet, never did the trail.
Yep,
Yeah,
got it.
I was being an idiot, but roller coaster
Yeah,
is really
easy.
fun. And then we got Machete. Machete is interesting because it's really long. It's got a ton of good flow. Oof, I it so the reason why I'm almost thinking of putting it in kind of fun is because it just got so like repetitive. Which sounds awful, but I feel like at a certain point I was just kind of over it. Like I was ready for the trail to be done so I could get into something different. Because there was like a ton of berms, which were fun at the end. A lot of just like
Oh my gosh, these
switchback turns going
corners
down this hillside.
are so
Um,
fun. Holy
but
cow.
yeah, it was just I wish there was a little bit more mix up towards the end. Bob's is sick. Bob's is really fun. Bob's is probably more fun than Raven's Ridge, I think. And I
Yeah.
didn't hit like nearly any of the jumps because I rode Bob's right after
Just tiny,
I
but
got cleared to ride my bike
sick.
from breaking my hand. So, but Bob's was sick. Yeah, I'm excited to get back to
Oh,
Bob's. Honkers, kind of fun. Honkers, I didn't actually post on YouTube. I just posted an Instagram clip of me doing the gap. The gap is the only thing on this trail that you like do the trail literally for the gap, which is at the start of the trail. And so the gap was fun. Everything else was just honestly eh. If it wasn't for the gap, then I'd probably put it in eh. And then we've got Sad Birthday. Sad Birthday, I'm gonna put behind Bonsai Downhill and then Not Bothered if I don't ride it in 2026. Um, yeah, it was okay. It's just like it didn't spark anything in me, I guess. It didn't make me yeah, it was okay. So if I don't ride it next year, Not Bothered. Uh, I probably will because Rocky is sick. But anyway, so Moss Alley. Honestly, Moss Alley was kind of fun. It was above Honkers. It's really quick, but there are a couple really fun corners that you can
cool.
just smash, and you can lap it over and over. So this would
Cool.
honestly be a really good contention for a
Whoa.
Clean and 3
So
episode.
dusty.
Yeah, so Moss Alley was kind
Wait,
of fun.
now?
It was really short,
Blackrock?
but I had a good time on it. And then Car Talk. Car Talk was a super eh. This is one's right next to Moss Alley. It was eh. I'd rather lap Moss Alley here. I kind of want to change this to just fun. I'm gonna change that just to fun. It was fun. Okay, next up on the list is Twisted Sisters. This one was honestly this one was really fun. I do remember having a great time here. I think it was more fun than Sector Nar. Was it more fun than Roller
Holy kite.
Coaster?
Okay, cool. Oh my gosh, look at this berm.
No, because I really
Holy
liked
cow,
that
that was
feature.
sick.
I liked overcoming that feature on Twisted or Roller
Whoa,
Coaster. So
so
Twisted Sisters was really fun though. And then we got Twisted Shorts. That's not what it's actually called, but Twisted Shorts was fun. Um, I think it's above Honkers, but I kind of like the lappability of Moss Alley maybe a little bit more. Um, yeah, so I think we're good with those there. Yeah, I think I like that for Rocky. Again, I wrote a lot more at Rocky Point, but just didn't post it, and that's cool. That's totally fine. Yeah, I think I'm happy so far. So next we're gonna go on to all right, Post Canyon. So Shadow was a new one for me this year. Um, Shadow was fun. Day at my whole day at Post Canyon was a little weird because it was super rainy. My bike was making a ton of noise. Um, that dirt is obnoxiously slick. When it rains, it turns into this clay and it makes it pretty sketchy. And it was another ride that was pretty quickly after I got cleared to bike again from breaking my hand. So I just wasn't I don't know, I wasn't feeling super stable on the bike. Yeah, it ended up being like a lo-fi chill episode, but the colors on Shadow in that time were crazy. I'd be really interested to ride this um, when it's a little bit drier. That's also how I kind of feel about A-Side. I think I liked A-Side more than Machete. A-Side was cool. It was a lot more techy. Um, Again, it was just very wet, and I wasn't accustomed to riding in general, so I didn't rip it as much as I wanted to. And I feel like if I did that, it may have jumped to really fun. Um, but yeah, I think A side. Honestly, B-side's right in the middle of fun. They're both good. Prefer A-side over B-side. I like Machete more. Yeah, and then I ended the Post Canyon ride with Mitchell Ridge. Um, Mitchell Ridge was also fun. It was just so slick at the end that I was really worried about going over these berms. Um, and I think I preferred honestly A-side more. Yeah, I think all of Post Canyon was pretty fun. I don't think there was anything there that um, was absolutely insane, but it was all good. It was all just good stuff. So, um, okay, then the last trail system in Oregon that I posted was Timberline, was the Mount Hood area. So we got the infamous T2T. Um, T2T is hard. T2T is hard to rank, man. I think it's top of really fun. I think it's top of really fun because of the honestly Pioneer Bridle. I'm just gonna put with it. These two you almost have to ride together. You don't totally have to, um, but in every time I've done the Timberline to Town Epic, I've always done Timberline to Town and then gotten on Pioneer Bridle and then go down to the rhododendron parking area. Just that experience is really fun. Being able to spend $2 on a shuttle to get carried up to ride so much downhill. It's quite easy, which I think is awesome because it does open the door for so many different riders to enjoy something like that. It's almost top tier. It's just there's not enough like the trail itself isn't top tier. The experience is really fun, but the trail's definitely not top tier. Honestly, Bob's is above it. Bob's was pretty sick. And Ravens. I really enjoyed my experience with the Ravens. This is where it's hard because like I want to rank just a trail, but you can't just do that. I feel like I gotta rank with my emotion when I ride the trail. You know what I mean? I think this is good. I think this is a good setup for Oregon though. Nothing in Pinnacle. Nah, because again, it's the experience of it. So honestly, I'm gonna put Honkers at the. Honestly, Honkers is moving down. It was okay, but if I don't do that gap again next year, it's okay. Yeah, I feel better about this. Okay, let's start with Yacolt Burn State Forest. So this is actually the closest trail, like Trail Forks trail system to me. I do ride it quite a bit. Okay, let's just jump into it. Beargrass, I rode one time, um, and it was fun. Beargrass was fun. It was more fun than I thought. I think it's at the bottom of fun. I think I like that for Beargrass. I also you have kind of have to climb it, or you climb the road, which is horrendous. But um, yeah, it's got some good corners. It's tough because it is a two-way trail, and people do use it as a two-way trail, and so it's really hard to just open up on it for me. Top Top, never again. Will I do Top Top? Yeah, that's enough of that. Okay, Cold Creek. Cold Creek is hard. This is the track that I broke my hand and lost the entire summer of riding. I broke it on June 6th during the Yacolt Enduro race, um, and I didn't bike for like 3 months, 3.5 months after that. It, I had more fun on various Cold Creek laps than I did on Shadow. Honestly, more so than Twisted Shorts. Same with Moss Alley, same with B-Side. Honestly, same with Machete and Mitchell Ridge and A-Side. Is it top of fun? I think it's top of fun, which feels weird to say. I don't know. I knew Cold Creek was going to be hard for me to rank. Um, because there's a lot of really tight turns that you just like lose a bunch of speed on, but it's like the OG enduro track. It's got some weird like side hits, like drops to flat, but it is fun. Like it is. I rode it quite a bit. Again, broke my hand, so I had to like get redemption there. Okay, Cold Creek, I feel okay there. Thrillium, Thrillium, I also feel feel like is the same as Fear and Loaming, right? It's more fun than Sictor Nar, um, more fun than Twisted Sisters, more fun than Roller Coaster, more fun than Timberline to Town as a trail. Um, but I really don't ride it a whole lot because I don't like the last like two sections. It is really fun though. The first like two stages of Thrillium are so sick. It's just the tech flow that I love. But then it gets into a lot bigger jumps. They're tables, but I just have zero trust in the jumps because there's like Yacolt in general is really rocky, and so there's always like these giant baby head rocks that just get on the tracks. And so I feel like whenever I do that trail, I don't want to just let off and like send the jumps. One, they're big and scary, but two, the landings, I never know what rocks are going to be there. So maybe if you like shuttle it quite a bit, yeah, but it's like it's still really fun. Like the first couple sections are sick. The bottom's still fun to almost treat as like a flow trail, trying to dodge the rocks. Yeah, Thrillium, I'm pretty good there. Sixth Sense is kind of my test track. Sixth Sense is like I just need to chill. I want like a one quick lap. It's got kind of a weird climbing section in the middle, and then close to the bottom, but not the exact bottom section. Right after the open you get into like this open clear cut area, you lose like all of your speed, which is a little bit annoying. But Sixth Sense is fun. I think it's more fun than Cold Creek. I think if
Yo,
when I go to Yakult and I need to do like one trail, it's gonna be
that's free
Sixth
cookie.
Sense over Cold Creek. Um, but honestly, then that's weird because I would do Sixth Sense over
Oh,
just doing
two
Thrillium,
wheel
right? But I
sliding,
wouldn't.
baby.
But Thrillium can be more fun than Sixth Sense, but like Sixth Sense almost feels like a safer test track. Weird, but I do think Thrillium is more fun than these. I would choose Raven's Ridge over Sixth Sense. Timberline Town's a really fun experience. Roller Coaster, Twisted Sisters is sick. Sictor Nar is really fun. I think Sictor Nar needs to be here. I think that I feel better there. Because I would choose probably Sixth Sense over Sictor Nar. I really wouldn't. Let's put in fun. Okay, I like that. This feels better. Then we got Murphy's Grade out at Yakult. So Murphy's Grade is just like a jump track, high speed. It was the first trail in the Enduro series. It's also fun. I don't think it's as fun as Sixth Sense. It's kind of next to Cold Creek, but I have more often than not done Murphy's over Cold Creek. So leave it there. Again, just want to reiterate, I'm not including any unsanctioned trails. So that's Yakult Burn right there. Do I like this? Honestly, Beargrass was fun, but I'm not bothered if I don't ride it in 2026. I'm really not. Murphy's Grade, Mitchell Ridge is more fun than Murphy's Grade for sure. Machete's more fun than Murphy's Grade for sure. Honestly, I'd rather ride Ravens over Thrillium. What other reflections do we got? Timberline to town is an experience over Thrillium. If someone was like, yo, dude, we got shuttle weather. You want to have Thrillium or Timberline to town? Dude, is it weird? I might do Timberline to town over Thrillium. I just think the experience is cool. I would be able to ride it with my wife, and that's super fun. Yeah, okay. This feels, as a gut check, this feels pretty good. All right, next we have Tiger Mountain up in Issaquah. Let me get some coffee. Hold on. Predator. Predator. It's the first pinnacle, dude. Predator. It's the top tier of a trail. It's above that. Hence pinnacle. It's the highest point of a trail. I think Predator is almost perfect. It's exactly the kind of trail that I love. It's a technical flow trail. Like you can smooth out so much of the chunk if you just ride it faster. And I feel like it's awesome because it's like one direct climb up to it, and then it ends at the parking lot. It literally ends at your car. It's got a couple burlier moves that you feel rewarded about getting down. It's Dude, Predator is like a trail I have to ride every year. I love it. It's shout out Evergreen. Holy cow, Predator's sick. NOTG is top tier. NOTG not off the grid here. NOTG is a little bit more fun than Backcountry. Um, is that true? I don't think it's true. Holy cow, man, this one's hard because they ride somewhat similar esque, but Backcountry has harder options. which I think I actually prefer having a trail with harder options that you can opt to do. Both of these trails are sick. NOTG, tons of routes, tons of little gaps that you can do. Again, it rewards you for going faster, turning a tech trail into a flow trail. Um, it's it's awesome. It's top tier. Yeah, okay. Atlas, also top tier. Dude, Tiger Mountain's just goated. Atlas is top tier. Atlas is very similar to NOTG. It's just easier. I think it is a spicy blue, borderline easy black. Um, but Atlas is just it's the party lap with the boys. Is it above NOTG? Dude, how can you compare them? Because most of the time you'll do NOTG or I will do NOTG, and then the next trail right after that is almost always Atlas, right? So it almost feels like kind of one descent with like a little connector trail in between them. But NOTG has a pretty awkward ending. I'm gonna put Atlas above NOTG, literally just because of that kind of awkward ending. Okay, I like that. Atlas and then NOTG. Okay, then we got Close Encounters. Close Encounters is fun. It is fun. Oh, we got 2 rows. It's more fun than these, more fun than that, more fun than that. It's just steep. It's steep and quick, but it's chunky. It's got a bunch of roots. I really feel my suspension working on that trail. Um, it's just so quick. Holy cow, is it quick? But here's my thinking. I am gonna put it here in between Sixth Sense and Cold Creek because Close Encounters is not. Um, you can't just ride that trail. It's like a pretty big day if you end up doing Close Encounters into then Extraterrestrial. But Extraterrestrial is really fun. I love kind of pushing my time on this. I love it more in Thrillium, Timberline to Town. Um, it's above Ravens. Honestly, Extraterrestrial's super sick. It's the second part of Close Encounters. Much more flowy. A couple of switchbacks. I actually got a flat on it last time I rode it, and even with the flat, it's still really fun. It Yeah, I'm just like pushing for PRs on it. But there's no feature that makes you feel like you're ever in super danger, which is cool. Sometimes I like that. Sometimes I like having optional features and stuff. But having a track that you can really just like, I am gonna push as hard as I want, and it's as fun as how much you push, I guess. I feel pretty good about these. Tiger is sick. Tiger's an awesome mountain. Tiger's honestly like a destination resort. If you don't live in Washington or Oregon and it's not easy for you to get to, yet you're making a trip to the PNW, um, and you're like a pretty competent biker, highly suggest Tiger Mountain. Let's move to North Slope. North Slope is my old stomping grounds up in Olympia. I've ridden these trails a ton. I only rode them, I think, once. No, more than that because I started the year in 2025 in Olympia, so I was riding them a lot. Like I did a clean and three on Bowfinger. Uh, Bowfinger's really fun. Honestly, I'm gonna put Bowfinger here. I'm gonna put Bowfinger in top tier. This is, I think, like a sleeper trail at North Slope. It's similar to Extraterrestrial where you can really push, and that's why I think it was great for a clean and three episode. But it's so lappable. Unlike Atlas and NOTG, it's actually going up here. Unlike Atlas and NOTG, Bowfinger, you can just lap it, lap it, lap it. Like I think it's only 500 feet to the top of it, and
Nice.
it ends right at the parking
That
lot.
was clean.
Um,
I
there's
like
a
that.
couple little, cheeky gaps to smooth
Climb.
things out. It's Yeah, it's a top tier track. I think that's like the sleeper trail of North Slope. Um, Mr. Bones is really fun. Mr. Bones is kind of similar to Bob's Your Uncle. There's nothing insane on it, but it's very long. You definitely get your money's worth if you shuttle it or if you climb it. Um, yeah, there's no massive notable features, but it's also gorgeous. Like you're riding in the trees, and then you get into this really awesome clear cut area with some tighter, steeper switchbacks. Then you get back into the trees. It just kind of feels like a couple different
Eagles.
trails in one. Yeah, Mr. Bones is really fun. Low key, this is like, yeah, low key's top tier. Low key's like the downhill track at North Slope, in my opinion. Similar to backcountry, it's got a new like pretty massive gap, which is awesome. Um, I just can't remember if they decommissioned the road now that they decommissioned the road to exit Loki. I don't know how you get back to your car without it being like pretty miserable. So regardless of that, I love Loki. It's top tier. It's very chunky. It's very rooty. Learn how to let off your brakes to just like not have your back wheel slide. It's got an awesome drop. Back when I was living in North Slope, I felt like this was a pretty big test track of just like if I was feeling really good on the bike, I'd try and push myself on Loki. And there's still stuff that I haven't hit that I really want to, like one little double and stuff. But whatever. Low key top tier. Pretty actually similar to backcountry, but yeah, low key top tier. And then we got Scoby. Scoby is Scoby's a pinnacle. Scoby is the crown jewel of North Slope. Man, this trail is so fun. It's got good sized jumps. It's got exceptional corners. It's a trail where if you ride it safe, it's fun. It's a trail if you smash it, it's fun. It ends at the parking lot to get your car, and
Oh,
it's easy to get to. It's like 1,000 feet to
so
climb, which is
flowy.
not awful. Easily shuttleable. Scoby's sick. Scoby is.
Ah,
I would choose to ride Predator over Scoby if I had the choice, which is why I think Predator's above Scoby there. But I like that. Living the dream. Um, Living the dream is pretty fun. I did a ton of work cutting in the lower portion. Did a bunch of trail work days to extend that, which was pretty fun. Um, but overall, the trail is just like if I go to North Slope and I'm shuttling with my friends, I will always offer to shuttle when they want to do Live in the Dream. So if I don't ride it in 2026, that's okay. Was the first trail I rode at North Slope, and so I do think it has its place. But again, for me, if I'm when I go up to North Slope next year and I am shuttling with my friends, I will drive when they do Live in the Dream. Octagon. Octagon's absolutely top tier. Octagon's above low key, especially with the addition of the upper. I still think it's behind Fear and Loaming, only slightly. The first couple sections of Fear and Loaming, but Octagon is for sure top tier. Adding the upper section, the hard, steep right
okay.
hand move that I fell twice on, the multiple different line options, the choose your own
Oh,
adventure is a little bit steeper. Um, Again, technical flow, these are just the
nice.
buzzwords that like what makes me really enjoy a trail. And then lower Octagon
Fire
just
stance
rips. Like
located
if
in
you can find the trail
completely
speed and
toted.
hit all the doubles you're supposed to hit,
Uh-oh.
that trail just absolutely rips. And then we got Down and Rowdy, DNR. I think DNR is fun. It's definitely more fun than any of the trails in fun. It's I do have a really fun time on certain sections, which I feel like is similar to then Thrillium. I would actually choose to ride Down and Rowdy over Thrillium. Um, it does have the climb in the middle portion, which is not ideal, but sometimes you got to suck it up and just earn your turns. Um, but there are some like awkward sections of this trail. Like I'm not gonna lie, there are some weird sections that if you skip it, it's okay. But there's some sections on there that just slap. Like they're so fun. I think that's a good spot for it. Yeah, I think I like that. And then we got Slick Jimmy, Slick J. Um, Slick Jimmy is hard for me because it's three very different trails. So what I mean by that is the upper section is definitely double black. It's steep, it's slick. You got to be riding well, paying attention, letting your bike move underneath you. The upper portion is tough. And then you have the middle portion in this clear cut, which is super flowy, honestly built exceptionally
Nice.
well, really fun. And then after that, you get into the like in the trees of this trail, and then it becomes similar to um, like an Atlas or an NOTG where there's some chunk, but there's just like ways to just, if you find the flow, like you get into the zen with Slick Jimmy. I
Cool.
do think it's really fun for the most part. It's kind of similar to, this one's hard. I'm gonna put it there. It's really fun. You can also opt to
I
skip
love these
the upper.
trails.
So like a lap I did a ton
Oh, I forgot to
was
jump that.
Loki,
Whoops.
the upper portion of Loki into then Slick Jimmy.
Fell
Those
by.
two were sick. Because the bottom section of Slick Jimmy was really fun. Was it more fun than ET? Nah. Yeah, I like that there. I like that there. Yeah, I think so far these are good. So going to the other side of Capital State Forest is the like kind of more beginner cross country section of Capital Forest. And so let's start with Green Line. Oh, Green Line's tough. I'm definitely not bothered if I don't ride it in 2026. Green Line's kind of where it's the last trail I rode my hardtail on before I sold it. It has its place in like entry level mountain biking, but I don't really have as much fun on it as I did at one point, and I think that's totally okay. So if I don't ride it next year, that's fine. Honestly, Little Arch is the same. I'd say Little Arch is fun. Um, but I'm also really not bothered if I don't ride it. Yeah, I think Little Arch goes there. It is fun. I'm not going to seek it out next year. It's too far of a drive for me to care about riding that trail. That's Little Arch is actually the trail that got me to fall in love with mountain biking. So there's kind of some sentimental piece to it, but for the sake of the trail being the trail, the accessibility of it, it's not one that I'm going to seek out in 2026. So those are the two Capital Forest trails that I rode. And now we're going to get into Port Angeles, the zoo loops, the zoo, whatever you want to call it. Okay, Vulture Ridge, Pinnacle. Come on. It's one. It's number one. Vulture Ridge has been my favorite trail, I think, for the past now 3 years in a row. Vulture Ridge, it's just something different, man. It's beautiful. The rock work on it is insane. The views impeccable. Um, it's one that I'm just like I get nervous to ride. I'm excited to ride. I feel accomplished when I get down it. When you're in it, you're just like you're so focused on being in it, but like enjoying it. It's there's just something special about Vulture Ridge. I love that, even though it's exceptionally hard to get to, and when you're done with that trail, you have like a lot of traversing to get back to your car. I don't care. It's a must ride every year for me. Vulture Ridge. Put it on your bucket list. That trail is sick. There's also a new one out there next to Beaver Moon called Centaur that I will absolutely hit next year. I really want to, but I haven't yet. Okay, yo, I was editing this and I realized I did not actually ride Vulture Ridge in 2025. The last time I rode it, it was like late November. And then when I went on the Port Angeles trip with Jared, we actually skipped Vulture Ridge. So I didn't actually ride it. I'm not gonna change my rankings though, because that trail is still my favorite trail of all time. But anyway, thought I needed to come clean about that. Okay, Beaver Moon. Beaver Moon. Beaver Moon. Yeah, I like that. Beaver Moon's got a couple really sweet slabs. Got some good doubles. A couple other moves that are hard. It's a top tier track.
Yeah.
It challenges you. You're so far out there that you do have to be on your A game. Same with
Oh.
like Vulture Ridge and stuff. But that extra level
Oh.
of kind of adrenaline, I think, adds to the top tier aspect of it. It's for sure on the easier
Yeah.
side of a double black, but you can't be caught sleeping with Beaver Moon. And then Horse, we got really fun. I feel like Horse is similar to Mr. Bones uh, and Bob's. I think it's above Bob's though. Honestly, I think it's above Mr. Bones too. Horse is really fun. Horse is a great DH track. You can let off on it.
Let's do a
There's a
whip
couple tight
refill this
like
time.
blind corners that you shouldn't let off on. But there's like two drops I think that are
Yeah,
super
I
fun.
did.
Yeah, horse rips.
You.
Shout out to Jared. I was with him when I rode uh, the Zoo Loops this year, and he had a couple gnarly crashes, so I'm glad he's okay from
You.
those. But even with those crashes, that day was pretty sick. And honestly, the drive to get out to the Zoo Loops is really pretty. Okay, sick. Let's go to Leavenworth Ski Hill. Shout out to my buddy Mediocre Mitch, MTB. Absolutely not mediocre, you filthy liar. Yeah, Mitch showed me around his home trail system, Leavenworth. We were going to do like Xanadu, Tres Hombres, and those trails, which I was really excited for, but there's actually a fire in the area, so the road up to there was closed, and I'm not trying to mess with that. So we ended up going to Leavenworth Ski Hill, and I never ribbed Rosie Boa or Freund Canyon, and yeah, they were cool. So let's start with ribbed. This one's the first one we did. It's got some jumps on it. It was really fun though, like my experience riding it with Mitch. Yeah, it was. I'm gonna say it was fun because I'm still not quite a jumper. I'm getting better for sure, getting more confident.
Cool. I'm
And I think
ribbed.
this trail to make it really fun, you
Whoa.
do need to consistently clear these gaps to keep up like the trail speed and everything. Um, but this had the biggest jump I did
Woo.
after breaking my hand. It's what got me comfortable to then do stuff like on backcountry. Um, Up here, stuff on Fear and Loaming. So I think Ribbed kind of paved the way for that, which it was fun to ride with Mitch, but not as fun as like Rosie Boa, right? So like Rosie Boa is above Thrillium, it's probably above Down and Rowdy. Um, yeah, I put it there. It's just it's a cool ridgeline track. It's got a couple steep berms, which that dirt out
Dude, I have
there
like
is
no trust on
way
these
different than
burners.
what I'm used to, and so I was actually quite scared on these. It's got one ridgeline move with a bunch of rocks that I had known about, and I felt pretty confident
Okay.
going into it, but I don't know, I
I
just
missed
chickened
it.
out
That's
next
okay.
time. So there's I left some stuff to be desired on that trail, and I want to get back to it. But that was really fun. Like Ribbed was a fun warm up, and then Rosie Boa was pretty sick. I really enjoyed that. Shout out to Mitch. And then Foyne Canyon I did on my own because I just had some extra battery left on the e-bike, and um, Freund was cool. Freund wasn't the bottom of fun by any means, but it wasn't like super crazy. It also kind of got somewhat repetitive. I feel like similar to Machete. Yeah, I feel pretty comfortable putting that there. It's the track that had like the hillside berms. So you basically just like surf along the wall of this of the mountain as you're going down it, which was super fun. Um, but it did get like quite repetitive. Again, the dirt it gets really dry, so I feel kind of nervous about like totally letting off on the corners and just going like over the edge or whatever. And people climb it, so you have to be really conscientious of not getting too much speed or ever like fully letting off the gas because you don't want to hit anybody. You want to be safe out there. So yeah, Front Canyon was pretty fun. Okay, now we got Syncline, the I think like Catherine Ridge riding area. I don't know. This place is freaking cursed, man. I drove there, really far drive, forgot my helmet, whatever, forgot my helmet, so I drove back, didn't ride that day. Next day, drove there, got bit by a dog, then got chased by another dog. Literally had to go to the ER because I was like, I don't know if I have rabies. This was an owner's dog, by the way. This place was cursed. Crybaby was fun though. Crybaby was the one at the very top. Huge, huge exposure. I'm honestly not bothered if I don't ride it again in 2026. I think it was cool to document what that trail is because I didn't see any videos of it before. Um, but yeah, if I don't ride it, I'm not bothered. Yeah, this is where the top of this is where I got bit by the dog. So like, I ain't trying to go back up there. Coyote Wall Trail was right after Crybaby. It was fun. It's probably more fun than Moss Alley. Honestly, more fun than Murphy's Great because it's just like you're kind of in this hillside, just kind of sweeping along the hillside. So it's really a similar to like an experience thing. I think it's above Freund. Um, yeah, I'd probably put it there. Coyote Wall was really fun. It was a different vibe than Freund Canyon because Freund Canyon's like you've got more exposure. This is literally cut into a hill. But I think I liked the cut into the hill because it just I don't know. It almost felt like Scotland, like you're riding in Scotland maybe, even though I've never ridden there. Whatever. Little Maui. Honestly, Little Maui's pretty sick. I think Little Maui's fun. It's not quite in the really fun category, mainly because there's so many hikers out there that it is hard to like let off on all the stuff, which, I really obviously now after you've gotten this far in the video, you understand that I value that. But Little Maui has a couple features that are rad, right? Honestly, Little Maui is really fun. Yeah, Little Maui's sick. It's got some few features that are quite rad. Little Moab. Little Moab is I'm gonna drop it here into top tier for now. I don't know if I'm gonna keep it there. So Little Moab, it's the rock. You're just smashing through rocks. I've ridden it 3 times. I rode it once last year. There was no one on it, so I didn't have to worry about people climbing up. You have full visibility. There's a massive cliff that you're just riding along these rocks. You can smash through anything you want. Infinite line options. If you can hit it without hikers being on it, this trail slaps. But because you're risking, like, you don't fully know, I'm gonna put it in the middle of top tier, kind of towards the end. It's not as good as backcountry, but I super enjoyed Little Moab. Just being able to choose the different lines, the view, that trail's sick. And then we've got Hidden Canyon. Hidden Canyon, I think Hidden Canyon's right above Little Moab. Yeah, I think I'm pretty good at putting Hidden Canyon at top tier. Again, this place is just like cursed though because of the experience I had. Hidden Canyon, I got the sense of the aftermath of the fire the most. So this is the trail that was like lit up by the fire that happened at Syncline. And so I rode it obviously after that, was able to see like the ash, but then was able to see moss growing back or moss that wasn't hit because the trail like stopped the fire. And then you see like all these white stuff that the firefighters did to prevent the spread. But it has some like really honestly it has some challenging moves, which is cool for a trail out there like that. The rock vibe, the views, yeah, it's a top tier track. It really is. You just similar to Little Moab. I feel like you have to hit it at the right time, and it's also totally rideable in the winter if you don't get attacked by a dog. So let's head up to Chuckanut up in Bellingham, double black, double down. These are super fun. These are really fun. I think these are right above horse. I'm gonna label them together. I think the reason why it's not top tier for me is it's pretty hard to get to. It's such a long drive, and I don't
That was
ride it
lucky.
enough to unlock all of the lines. If you want to see like someone absolutely ripping double black, double down, look up Spencer Astra. He does a lot of the free hub bike reviews, and the longer travel bikes,
You.
his test track is double black, double down. If he's doing like a sanctioned one, yeah, these two trails, this one
That was
descent is
cool.
really fun. It's cool. I rode it with my buddy Jeff and his son Isaiah. That was super fun. Pretty embarrassing story. I was riding
Whoa.
clips for like
Drop.
the third or fourth time. Ended up falling in the parking lot because I couldn't get unclipped right after I told him. I was like, yeah, I'm getting much more comfortable, and then I just fell over, so that was a bit of a bummer. But okay, last one we have is Reverence. This is the only track sanction trail that I rode at Raging River. Did it at night. It was fun. I think it's the top. No, it's really fun. Yeah, because that experience was also cool doing it at night with my friend. Night videos don't get a ton of views, so I'm not surprised if anyone missed it. But Reverence is a super sick trail. It's technical, it's flowy. It has different sections that feel like you're riding a different trail, so it really mixes things up, which is super cool. So that's it. How does this look? Do I feel good about this? This would mean Pinnacle, Vulture Ridge, Predator, Scoby, top tier, Fear and Loaming, Octagon, Beaver Moon, Low Key. I feel pretty good about this. I think this is a good ranking. Yeah, like I said, I've got videos for all of these down in my YouTube, so just go look up, my YouTube channel. Yeah, don't forget the most important trail of the day is the next one. Thanks for tuning in if you made it this far in the video. Super long, but shout out to you.